once a fringe internet publisher.
He's sacrificed so much to bring the truth out.
Julian Assange is now a global symbol of distrust in government. During a 4-week court battle to defeat a US government extradition request, his legal team called in witness after witness who praised Wikileaks for the most important kind of journalism.
Light them all up. Come on, fire!
Exposing US torture, kidnapping and assassination.
Oh yeah, look at those dead bastards.
One witness was human rights lawyer Clive Stafford Smith, whose clients included drone strike victims in Pakistan.
Drone attacks! Drone attacks!
It was Wikileaks' publication of classified US documents which helped bring those strikes to an end.
Those leaks allowed us to bring litigation against the government at the time and get a wonderful ruling that said, in as many words, that the United States just couldn't murder Pakistan's citizens willy-nilly and the Pakistan government had to stop it.
But for the past month in court, Washington has said none of this was relevant to extradition.
In order to thwart extradition, it's not a question of showing guilt or innocence. The UK court's not interested in that. It's interested in whether it would be fair and just in accordance with UK law to extradite him to face trial.
Once his lawyer and now his fiancee, Stella Morris, says the extradition is politically motivated and therefore unsound.
They have charged him under the Espionage Act, which is the textbook political offence. The senior executive of the US has made extremely prejudicial statements about Julian for years, so there's no chance of a fair trial in the US.
The court heard extraordinary evidence the US ran a dirty tricks campaign against him, gathering secret surveillance inside the Ecuadorian embassy, including confidential meetings with his lawyers. One of the surveillance team testified of discussions about kidnapping or even poisoning Julian Assange.
But what makes us unsafe is the kind of forces that were, plotting to kill Julian in the embassy.
The evidence was shocking, but may not be enough.
Even if that was all true, Assange would have to argue that this is evidence of the underlying improper purpose for which he's being prosecuted in the first place.
For the political argument to work, would require the judge at the Old Bailey to declare the United States a jurisdiction where it's not possible to get a fair trial.
Yes, that would be a highly inflammatory finding for any UK court to make.
The charges accuse Assange of conspiring in Chelsea Manning's leak of classified documents. It's a radical challenge to the ordinary day-to-day work of reporters.
These are our normal journalistic practices, and if the Trump administration thinks that these are illegal, then it means that virtually every journalist is breaking the law.
Extradition expert Nick Vamos believes Julian Assange has only one argument with any real prospect of success.
I think Mr. Assange's Article 3 arguments about whether his physical and mental health can be properly treated and whether the risk of suicide can be properly mitigated against is his strongest one.
There's been disturbing evidence about Julian Assange's deteriorating mental health inside the walls of this London prison and his high risk of suicide. Much of his despair, though, is about the conditions he might encounter inside an American supermax jail, where he's likely to be held in solitary confinement. These days, Julian Assange has even more at stake.
Our eldest is now over 3 years old, and Julian's only been able to see him a couple of dozen times in those years. And our youngest, he's only been able to see in prison.
Conceived in secret and now forced into the open, these little boys may never get to know their father.
When the phone rings, they say, "Daddy, it's Daddy," you know, and they sing together and that kind of thing. So I try to normalize it as much as possible. I don't want the kids to grow up internalizing that they're at the center of a huge injustice.
The judge will announce her decision in early January.
I can't envisage a world where Julian would be extradited and put in prison for doing the right thing and for doing the thing that we value in our democracies, which is holding government to account and exposing war crimes.
But whatever she finds won't be the end of this long saga, with both sides likely